because we were sent to a grammar schools where a lot of money was spent on our education. So our parents told us to get into a better job, especially I, to get into a better job because of the money spent on our education. And at that point of time, filming was, or getting to film or making a career in film was, I think it was not very easy, but not very difficult also. But we had to find the right contacts and the right people, and nothing was available because there was no internet at that point of time. There was no Facebook and Instagram and all this where you could look it on. So we had to do a search, and then my parents said that would be a lot of waste of time, searching something and getting, if you get it or you may not get it. So that, but she knew that, my mom and parents knew that, okay, he has his talent, and someday, yes, when things open up more and we get a more connection or networking, it would work for him. So that's the way when I went into my first job, when I joined into a shipping industry and spent like 17, 18 years in this industry. That's where it started, and I got my proper job for 18 years, and I just closed my dream and put my dream into a closet and shut it till the time was right to get into it. I was getting into a better job. I was looking for a job at the time of a change, and I was looking for a job. I was offered a good job from a good company, but then COVID came and I had to join in February, if I remember the correct date was February 2020. That was my joining date into that company. And then COVID came, and COVID had just started. It was like I got my job offer letter in December 2019. And that, I think COVID, 1 or 2 cases already had come into the United Kingdom. And then suddenly I got a letter when my closing dates came. I think I'd even given up my job because I knew that I was getting into the job, so I had given up my previous job. And I was jobless at that point of time. I took up a retail job. So I don't want to take their name, but I got a night shift to work in a retail company. That was the only jobs you could do because people needed food and everything. And there was no other jobs going around, so I had to take that job because I had to also survive. So I took up this retail job at night shift, and which was getting some bit of money, but then as the sickness was there, and I got absolutely very, very sick because of COVID. So one day I was actually feeling very, very low, and I felt like I think the end is come. So I decided to pray that night to ask for forgiveness of my sins and everything. That if I've done something which God doesn't like something, that to please forgive me. So I prayed that night, and I went to sleep. So I had a nice peaceful sleep that night, and I don't know if it was the same night or it was a couple nights after, I get this dream. So somebody coming in my dream and telling me that it's not your time yet, and you have a dream to fulfill. But the dream was not told me, and I was also thinking like, what was a dream? And I could hear the voice very, very clearly in my mind, like someone actually speaking to me, like, and yeah. And my dad had passed away like 2 years before that. So I thought, sometimes they say your ancestors come to give you that extra support, something, or the angels speaking to you if God has sent you a message or something. And after that, I started watching, because I was shut in this, alone in this isolated room of mine. I started watching a lot of movies, absolutely movie after movie, movie after movie. And I was thinking like, and when I was watching a certain movie and I was looking at the actors, and I was thinking, I think I could do better than him. I think I could, that's the way he would have spoken the line, or if I was him, I would have spoken the line with this. And that thing was just getting to mind, and I said, why these things are coming into my mind as things? And then I never knew how to start and where to start from. So I saw an ad while on Facebook where a student wanted a certain character, and I was fitting the character and everything, and I just had a go at it. I had no experience because there was an email on it. I just had a go at it. Eventually I got the scene, and when he spoke to me, the director, he told me it's a very, very small scene. it would take 2 hours to shoot you, depending on how good are you. And if the movie is released, your scene would be not more than a minute and some seconds only. And I was happy to do it because I said that some way it would serve a purpose of my. So I done it. I don't know what it done to the other actors, but that movie, the director and me, the director became an award-winning director, and I started getting a lot of short films because of that one scene. But it was most of the negative characters. So that's where the journey started again. So when I got into this thing and into acting, and then what happened, I just dropped the idea of, I did get a letter back from the same job offer which I was offered like 2 years before, but this time I said no to that thing. I said no because I was enjoying something which I really wanted to do maybe 20-25 years before, and I was enjoying it. So I stayed up with my night shift job because I knew that if I do this job, money was coming. Money was not very big, but at least I had all the days in the week where I could shoot. So that was benefit. So the money balanced in both ways. You got money of your acting also, and then you got money of your part-time, whatever, your retail job I done. So that's the way I balanced it, and I kept it, and I still balance it that way. Yes, there was support because they thought that I should have taken up a better job where I would have got more money and extra money than doing a retail job and doing this thing. So the support from the family was not very great, but they understood that if he wants to do it, let him do it. But they were never supportive. I don't think they're supportive now also. I remember many years before, people were very particular about filmmaking. So they wanted, if there was a main lead, so he should be good looking, smart, like the chocolate boy and everything. And there are certain categories were put, or actors were categorized in certain categories that they should fit this or they should look like this. But nowadays the filmmaking is all about your talent and your art. There's no age limit that you should be a certain age. There's nothing like you should be a certain look or something. If you look like that character, it's okay, but there's so much of makeup and all these done to you, so you can fit into any category. Yeah, auditions was a struggle. I won't say that thing. Auditions, and of course, they after COVID, of course, there was not in-person auditions, so there was always self-tape. But I always preferred to give an audition in person because you know what you're speaking and you have a partner to speak the other lines or something. A self-tape, it could be a possibility that you have to give a self-tape on a certain period of time, and then you may not have a partner or someone to record the other lines. So then you have to record it yourself and have the other lines have to be paused down, and sometimes that doesn't look very professional, right? You must be done a good job from your lines and spoken very well, but because the connection of the other lines are not connecting with the thing, or the emotions are not coming out the way you would have spoken it if there was another person. That's where sometimes I failed a lot in things. Like the producer, the production company have come back and said, oh, your audition was good, and but the emotions are not there because of somebody not speaking those lines and everything. So that was a bit of struggle. There was a self-tape request, but the person has watched my show reels or my previous work and just offered me the role straight away that yes, we believe you can do it. So I've got something. Somewhere I've even given self-tapes are not been selected, and somewhere I've even given auditions not been selected. So it's like there. On the typecast, I would say I was not typecast in anything. Like because of certain things, I fit into many roles. Like what you are speaking. Like like I could be the boss man, or cab driver and everything. Like, but I wouldn't often say that because I look like this, so I have to fit like that. It's not about that. I've played even Mark and John and everything. I played those roles also, but the description of the role. But yes, typecast, I would say myself I was typecast both, like because I was in a certain age, I was getting more fatherly roles, or like to play the father, or to play the father-in-law, or to play the elder brother, or something like that. That was the typecast I was going. But I wanted to explore my talent, and I said I could do much better than these things. Like that's the way I started exploring myself and getting. That's the way I was getting other roles. So I've played the father, father-in-law, elder brother, but I've even played negative characters also. I want my dream role is to play something like the Godfather, the quiet gangster, where his eyes really speak and not his words. So that one thing. I've done a few crime movies where I played, but I've not played. I've done 2 movies where I have had small roles as petty gangsters. I've done it, but mostly I always got the good parts to play in those crime movies also. Right, but now people are looking at me and they think, okay, I can even do this and I can even do that. So I'm exploring my talent and just falling into every category I can do which fits my description. I'm not saying that every role will fit me or everything will think. I can't play a young gangster, right? I have to play something which fits me and look like that. And most of the characters when I do is I try to get those real life characters in my life. Like if I have to play a father-in-law, then I think of a mother-in-law, that how will she react to a certain situation. If I have to play a boss man, and I have friends who own businesses, so I look at them, how they react to their customers, right? So I learn from them. So my main thing, acting, and what I'm learning is all my people who are in front of me. It's not the script thing, it's only the emotion I have to take out, but the acting work I learned from all my friends and my colleagues and everything. Once I was doing a movie where I had to, where the scene was, it was a crime movie where I lost my son because he was shot by people and I had to bury him. So that was very emotional scene, and we were shooting in a graveyard, a real graveyard. Of course it was, my son was supposed, I was burying my son, and then I thought about my dad at that point of time, and that I became very emotional. But when it comes to you and when you think about it, you don't get easily out of it. So you have to give yourself time just to get, oh, I thought about this has happened, but that is gone now. So yeah, when it comes to you, it's a little bit harder to come to you, but when it comes to you, it's very difficult to get out of you at certain points. My thing is, ritual is not very complicated. Is I will come after the shoot, probably if I'm wrapped up, I know the production is going, if I'm wrapped up, my scenes are wrapped up, I will come home, I'll have a shower first, I'll take a shower first and then have a nice meal. I don't think much about the movie, but I would always say a prayer at night to pray that if the film does well, and not only does well for me, but it does well for all the cast and for the film director crew, because everybody has put his blood and sweat in making that movie, and so I pray for everybody that the movie does well and it benefits them to get more work out of it. That's my simple thing. Your family members are your biggest critics, the family members. So when I show it to my own family and then I showed my brothers and siblings to them, they would always say that I think your walk was like this, or you should have entered the room like this. They have different options, or you should, the way you looked at the person, you should have looked like this. And because my younger son is learning filmmaking, so he looks at much of the details. Journey has been good. I've learned a lot in the last 4 years. It's been a very good experience. I've learned a lot. In my acting work and modeling work, whatever work I've done, it's really learning. Every production you go, you're just learning something new. So I'm every day learning something. That's it. It's not on a film set. You can never say that you're a complete actor or something. You're always learning something, and I always get to learn something. Beautiful thing is, like, you always come across beautiful and new people every time on a different set. It's not always the same people on set, so you always come across different people where you can get friendly with them and become friends, and then we are always connected on social networks, so we can always help each other. If there's something which comes to them and they say that, oh, I know the person, he fits that role, then they come to me and say, can you do it? Or if something comes to me from a different production and say, you know someone, and it comes to me, if my friend, oh, he can fit that role, I send the work to them. So we are like helping each other. My journey has been good till now. It's been very, very good. What stands ahead, I don't know, right? Only God knows what stands ahead for us, right? But I know that something good is coming up. I always believe that something good is and big is coming up. And my things, I won't say that I want to give advice to somebody. Everybody has their own opinions, what they want to become in life. Whatever profession you want to join, whichever profession you want to join, I would say just be honest to your work, just be hardworking, and just give your best. And I know if you do your best, God will do the rest.